Already.
Hello, beautiful people.
What's up, good people? What's up?
Yes.
Listen, we are back. I know last week we were out celebrating Reagan, the last of the Mohicans. Woo, woo.
Oh my, yes, we were. You had to start off with this, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
You
I'm just letting
did.
folk know, they missed us last week.
It was bittersweet. It was
Yes,
bittersweet.
yes.
Our baby girl graduated.
Graduate.
So I hung up my homeschool hat, y'all.
Yes.
Can you believe it? 22 years.
Until the grandbabies.
Until the grandbabies.
Yes. All right, so we trying to let some folks get in. Let us know all is well.
Yes.
Our moderators, all is well on this end. All our
And
visuals
you forgot what else
sound.
we celebrated.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm coming to it. I say the best. The best. Look, I wish I'd have had that video. I could have showed them the video.
What video?
The video of that evening. Yeah, your spa night.
Yes, I need whomever in this family who has that video. I need the video because I still have to show
I think that was heaven
how
else.
well I was taken care of by my honey love.
Yes. Tell of his goodness.
Tell of your goodness.
Yes.
But it was really it was special. It was special. It was beautiful. But yes, so that's celebrating all that we have to be thankful for life, for health, for strength, for children's, and all that they have brought into our lives, which they made us be people that we didn't even know that we could be, which is teachers and all that kind of stuff, right? But it is a blessing. It is a blessing.
Yes, it is.
But we're happy to be with you tonight. It is another Thursday.
It's another Thursday night. So let me just tell you real quick what we're going to talk about, and then we're going to get into it. I'm sorry, we didn't even open up like we normally do. It's your country boy.
And your city girl.
Eric.
and Elaine.
Of E Squared.
Yes.
Look, if you're new to the channel, welcome.
Welcome.
Right? Go ahead and smash that subscribe. Go ahead there, girl.
You heard me?
Yes, ma'am. Handle it. And the hand and everything.
They ain't ready.
The hand.
That's yes. You know I was I was all things at church. I was all things at,
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a hand model, y'all. I did.
Okay. Yeah.
He said, okay, all right, that's enough.
All right. So so if this is your first time, go ahead and hit the like.
Yes.
Share.
Y'all know how we do it.
Share the video, share the link to someone
Tag
you love.
Somebody. Yes.
Go ahead and hit that notification bell so you'll know when we go live. So tonight, we have been on a series talking about destructive behaviors. Okay. Destructive behaviors. The first one we went on Stonewall, in which Elaine loved because she can talk about me.
Right? I love it.
I'm just saying because you talking about me.
Oh.
Right. Alongside with this.
Yeah.
criticism.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then we came to hers, which she tried to drag me into that one too.
I don't know if you want to call it mine.
Martyrs, yes.
I don't know if you want to call it mine.
So now you backing up on what really go down. You showing the ladies how it goes.
Anyways,
you being that example.
Listen. He is really starting off being messy. Anyway. But yeah, so we did talk. We talked about martyrdom, and I will claim that. Listen, my name is Elaine Johnson, and I am a former, a recovering, continually martyr.
We're being honest in the building today.
I don't mind. We got to tell it on ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's really recognizing our own stuff,
right?
And owning it.
So the next week we went into sarcasm, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm doing all kind of sarcasm,
and he's doing it very well. Might I add?
But it is not one that I use during conflict because we said in the description that we talk about these things that are done in the heat of conflict.
Yes,
and this is where these things are destructive. This is destructive behavior. So now this particular destructive behavior, it doesn't even have to be conflict really.
That's true.
It could be someone who is just, again, critical. But before we get into, if that's something you like, if you want to chime in on, look, check this. Go ahead and share this with somebody who you know is critical. Help somebody. Help somebody.
Help them out.
Help
by telling them to log on in.
Yes.
And join the conversation. Right. So that's what we do. Before we go further, you know how we do it. We, pull out that nice little glass of whatever, Kool-Aid,
your communion wine,
whatever.
Live on the wild side.
Okay. But go ahead and grab you something to drink.
Yes.
Hopefully by now you've already eaten, and you're just ready to wind down for some good conversation. But grab you a little something, tea, whatever suits you.
Conversation.
Yeah, we want to have a conversation.
Yes, hands down.
Oh, that's some good wine.
Yes.
I mean Kool-Aid. Oh, yes. So I think, tonight's topic is, we're going over all these destructive behaviors because they are, they're things that we need to be aware of, and they will, primarily, they will destroy our relationships. They'll destroy our good thing. So, we're all on board to making sure that we're better people, right? So hopefully you're with us, right? Y'all know how we do it. We like to laugh. We like to, have fun. We bring joy wherever we go. We try to, at least, and so. But we like to kind of take some of these hard topics and have a little light conversations around them. But we do go much deeper when you have one-on-one sessions with us, or even private group sessions, right?
Yes.
So join us in those at ericandelaine.com when you are ready to really continue your journey in becoming a better you.
Hands down.
Because that's what marriage is all about, right?
Hands down.
And we're talking about still in our Heal Thy Relationships series, right? So healthy relationships. And that's what we are continuing to talk about, because we see the need. Because I'm tired of all the, the relationship issues and the state of so many negative things around marriage, around relationships, right? And so it's something that we've got to go in and we've got to talk about. Don't you agree?
Get into hands down.
Yeah,
hands down. So
hands down.
Yes, there you go. Yes. So okay, we're gonna go ahead and get it in.
Yes.
If you're in the chat, all is well. Give us a holler so we can shout you out.
Yes.
It's good to see everybody tonight.
And
good to thank our moderators.
Always
For
thankful
being
for our
here.
moderators. Absolutely.
Yes.
They are
Yes.
phenomenal.
And those supporters. Got some wonderful supporters.
Yes, wonderful sponsors.
Sponsors and so on and so forth. We're gonna
Absolutely.
come through.
We'll do something for our sponsors, give them a shout out and all that, because we've got some good support behind us, and that helps us to continue to do what we do.
Hands down.
So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, we want you. We look forward to folks having the relationship that they desire.
Yeah.
Right.
And deserve. Yeah.
Hands down. So come on, let's get with it. Let's define. Let's define criticism. What is criticism?
Yes, indeed. So, I mean, this is something that probably we can all really just say off the top of our head, right?
Let me go back, because I don't want people.
Because when we're looking at our relationships, now we're easy to say, hey, it's being critical, right? And I think that's true. But also when we focus on, being critical to the person that we love, right? When we focus on that, we make that the main focus, the main goal is focusing on the flaws, right?
Focus on issues,
what they're doing wrong. And I think it also deals with judging them, right?
Yeah.
Passing judgment on your spouse, on your partner. So those are things that we know are some of our our issues personally, right? And like we said, sometimes we've grown up in families where
it was the norm.
And
you didn't know the wiser.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but it was what's interesting to me is that if you chose a person, what is it in you? I had this brother share this with me. He said, when you have an issue with a person, ask yourself this before you take up this issue. Just really have an alt with somebody.
Okay.
Ask yourself, what is it about them that you don't like about you?
That's good.
Like, what?
I like that. Yeah, because it is. It's our relationships are mirrors.
Yes. What is it about you, this person, that I don't like about myself?
Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Yeah. So a lot of times we're attracted to someone who's different than us, right? Because they say opposites attract, right? There's a mosquito, y'all, that's flying around here. He is huge. But we're attracted to people who are opposite from us, right? And that's normally how it goes a lot of times, right? And but then you turn around and there's some of those things that start coming out that are actually things that you don't like about yourself. Isn't that something?
Yeah, like my song Mint Condition.
The best band in the world, the longest,
the longest
longest standing band.
Yes, R&B band, known to America. Anyway, he has this song called "Nothing Left to Say," and he say in the beginning, the things that made me love you.
Yep.
Is now turning me away. It's turning me away now.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
I agree.
But that's why we need, the tools that we need to have to get, to develop and maintain healthy relationships.
Absolutely.
So what happens is this could start out cute and cuddly or whatever, cutesy or whatever.
Don't all relationships do that? Start off cute and
cool, and he's concerned about me. Oh, she want me to wear something different, man. She concerned, man. She really feel, she feeling me.
Right.
Because she concerned about how I look.
Right.
Nah, bro, it's control.
Oh,
but what it does is it can turn into some deeper things, deeper habits of disapproving, deeper situation of critiquing, correcting, and blaming.
Ooh, yeah.
Nitpicking. I thought that was a country word, but no.
hey,
but hey,
it fits across the board. It fits. But what about trying to fix
I'm like,
somebody?
You chose broke?
Right.
You chose somebody broke. You decided I'm going, and then too, that goes into the motive. And that's why it's important for your choice in spouse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The writer of, I want to say the, not Armchair Millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Okay.
He said almost, it was 98 to 99% of the decamillionaires.
Yes.
Decamillionaires.
Mm-hmm.
And not just decamillionaires by income or this or that. No, these were, and decamillionaires are millionaires that have a net worth after all the bills are paid, a net worth of 10 million or more. They said that the reason that they are the millionaire that they were today had everything to do with choice of spouse.
That's deep.
Right?
That's deep. Yeah.
So you got to have a vision as an individual, as a person, so that that relationship can be applied.
I agree.
To where it needs to go.
I agree.
And everything. So the other piece on passing judgment has a lot to do with your control.
Yeah.
It's one of the things in that one of the control mechanisms in the power and control wheel, of domestic violence. Right?
Yes. Yes. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a fine line when we're talking about these destructive behaviors. Why are they destructive? Right? They're called destructive because, as we said before, you can literally predict divorce when these different behaviors are present in a relationship, and especially consistently, right? So that's a good thing that you brought that up, because it's a fine line when it comes to, is this just a behavior, or is this abuse? And so we have to be aware of that, and be wise enough to say, what, this is something that I recognize, and I take ownership of this behavior, because I can change this behavior, right?
I can't help it. This is my personality. It's my personality, baby girl. My personality. That's just how I am.
Really.
Right? And he gonna be by himself. Right?
Gonna be right. That's just his personality by himself.
Yeah.
Or going through, several.
On a regular basis, when they get tired of dealing with his criticism, or whatever. Or he knows what's right. Know everything.
Always right.
Always right. All right. He or she, because it happens on both ends.
Well, no, you're totally right. You're totally right. It does. This is on all spectrums, right? We're
down.
all guilty. And so absolutely, we have to be aware that this is something that's not gender biased.
Right. So criticism, right or wrong, good or bad.
Is it right or wrong?
Is it right or wrong, good or bad? Anybody in the chat? Tell me something in the chat. Is it right or wrong, good or bad?
Wow. So, I mean, I would just say, let me say that, when we're talking about criticism, there's a lighthearted way. And I think we kind of brought this out about, it may have been the other topic that we talked about with, there are certain things like sarcasm, with even criticism. Like sometimes, people say, and they throw around, constructive criticism. Right. I give constructive criticism, in the same way that we, talked about sarcasm, and how sometimes, there's a lighthearted way that you can be sarcastic, that's not damaging to the relationship, but it's still a fine line.
It can bring a chuckle.
Right. And, but you, to be able to read your your spouse,
Right.
to be able to know, okay, enough, right? I'm going too far. And I think the same way with criticism is, I think sometimes there's a way that we can actually give criticism. Do you agree?
Yeah, there's a way that you can give criticism, but make it. I mean, in a person can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if y'all are, if you're coming, if your tone is proper, and you guys have a level of camaraderie, then criticism can come across in a way that, like it says here, it builds growth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being able to deal with it. Now, I will say that in some instances, where, um, for instance,
Uh-oh,
it
gonna
will
bring
be.
up that
Can I be vulnerable?
Is it about me?
You involved in it.
Oh boy.
Let
me take a sip.
Okay. So
yeah, it's
look,
all we're open. Go ahead, babe.
In the beginning,
help the peoples.
In the beginning,
in the beginning
of the relationship, if I didn't say nothing about the meal Elaine cooked,
here we go.
It's on. I don't see that meal, and that meal was good. I don't see that meal no more. I'm like, well, man, I sure would like such a what a nautica and everything. Well, I just thought you ain't like it. And anything I say about a meal, it's like on 10.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right.
I could just say
that is true.
Can I have some vinegar on my? What's it? I'm sorry, I didn't season it like you.
Why you gotta act like that?
Okay, I have a witness in the building?
No.
Do I have a witness in the building? I got moderators that can.
Anyways, but okay, so that is true. You know what? And some of that, I think I will honestly say that some of that is from my father wound. I mean, and I think this is, just this topic alone, it deals with when we're talking about each other and where we're at and how we handle things. Sometimes we got to realize that there's a father wound, and so I didn't have my father present all the time. Y'all have heard me if you ever come to a workshop, and y'all have heard me tell the story about, dad, my daddy being in and out, right? And so when that happens, many times, that is, it does something to the child. And so for me, that's what it did. Definitely was it, it made me look at criticism even constructively, right? Like it was a problem. Like you're not accepting me. And so that is something that I had to recognize down through the years. It wasn't wasn't right, all that clear in the beginning. But yeah, so I think if we're looking at ourselves and we're honest, we all are suffering. Many of us are suffering from father wounds, and we got to look at that.
But what happens when it's not a father wound? Because I know some young people. I won't say no genders or no names.
Okay.
But when it was time to learn how to drive, and I know this guy who was teaching his children how to drive, and sometimes when he would say something, I'm not doing gender, and he would say something, and they burst into tears and everything.
Well, that I mean, come on now, you got to be fair. That's sometimes we all are dealing with, being nervous, not knowing how to, take instruction, and that I think is simply when you have a father, right? A father normally has that presence, right? And so you want to please your father, right? So I don't think you're being
you can
too fair
learn.
with
You
that.
can, but you can learn when and
If it's
truth be
somebody else
told,
that's not as familiar.
this illustration, uh, you're gonna give some criticism, and you may step on some toes, and that's just the learning process.
Mm-hmm.
That is just the learning piece to this. It's just a part of it. So is criticism something that automatically comes with every relationship?
Wow.
Will you ever have to say something? Well, maybe you should have done this. Ooh, girl, I don't know about what you got on. A men, the dreaded question.
Uh-oh. You have some words of wisdom.
Dreaded question. Does this make me look fat?
Does it? Hello?
It's answering a question. It's not criticism. But how many men know? Don't answer that question.
Oh, come on. I think in the relationship, it's got to get over those little shallow things, and you want to reach the point where you're able to just say, "Hey, babe, go and there's a way to say, you know what? Hey, you know what? I like this outfit. Why don't you wear this one? You see what I'm saying? Be creative. Come on, guys.
There is no way out on that one. I just don't believe.
All right. So, is criticism? Is it right or wrong, or is it good or bad? I think we can
say it's best. You've got to develop camaraderie. Matter of fact, we did a TikTok just recently, and people just fall out at that. I mean, because listen, and one of the things is, we're attempting to share, because we're about developing a positive relationship culture in our community, hands down, right? Yes. So what is happening is this: is if you take that time and have fun, be spontaneous. Yes. These are some of the benchmarks that cause you to to develop a situation where when your partner criticizes,
it's not personal.
It's not visceral.
Yeah.
They're not being against you. You can assume goodwill.
Okay.
And so on and so forth.
I can agree with that, definitely. So, criticism, when it becomes bad, I think is we have to pay attention to how we're making each other feel, right? How you're making your spouse feel. If they're not feeling, if they're feeling, like you're being demeaning, belittling, if they have, the feelings that it's just painful, the way that you're like what you mentioned, your tone and different things, we know. And I believe, most of us, let me say, because there are some of us who, like they said about Chris Rock, they mentioned he has a disorder, right? A social disorder, I think it is, where some people have a hard time reading cues, right? And so that could be, but that's a small percentage. So we're not going to make that the excuse for everybody, right? But most of us can, we can tell. We know when we're being hurtful. We know. Come on. And we have to be honest with ourselves. And we know when we're out to get a point across. And really, as we'll see early, later as we go further, when we're pointing out shortcomings and different things like that's when it's drawing the line. So then criticism is definitely, I would say, it is wrong and it is bad. When you know that you are causing pain to your spouse,
hands down.
When you know that you're causing hurt, and remember, along with those feelings come memories.
Yep,
they're attached to memories, and so you begin to build up this mountain of negative, feelings and negative emotions that you're going to have to work through. So it's in the benefit of all that we are making sure that we're avoiding these type of behaviors. So I think also learning, it says, do you simply have to learn how to take it and deal with it? Should a person just take criticism in a relationship and just deal with it, because that, like Eric started off saying, that's just the way a person is.
That's just my personality, baby girl. I need me a strong woman.
Wow. I would say no. Y'all know I will come out with a song in a minute, right?
Okay.
But so so we want to make sure that we realize that you do not have to just put up with and take or deal with criticism, because it is not healthy when it's dealt with.
So we got some comments on Facebook.
Okay.
That is sharing, saying that no, it can't be both. Criticism, no, it can be both.
Okay.
It can be both good and bad.
It can be both good and bad.
And Mr. John Nash says that yes, it can. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Nash.
Miss Diane Pollard, thank you for sharing.
Yay, Diane.
Miss Jackson, I'm sorry. Ooh, tell your husband don't beat me down. I'm sorry.
He's gonna get it.
Yes.
So it can be good or bad, and that's pretty much what we're saying, right? If it's staying away from being hurtful, right? And you're monitoring how you doing it.
One of the cues is criticism can stunt growth. How? Are you inspiring your partner to go higher, go deeper, go longer, go, farther, go wider, or to expand themselves? Are you inspiring your partner, or is this what it's for? Is this what the criticism is for? Does it demonstrate goodwill? Are you encouraged? If it's not meeting that, then you're stunting your partner.
That's right.
And and if we're dwelling on the negative, that's the more we're gonna have. I like in the movie Tomorrowland, she told the story of the wolf.
There's the wolf of courage. Love that movie, huh?
Yeah, it's a slow movie, but it's a lot of good little things in there.
It is slow, y'all. I have not made it through it yet.
No.
But he tells me that it was really good. The parts that I've seen, it really is good. So
there were some messages.
I just got to get a good nap in.
And I won't get into the messages that were in that movie.
Yeah, it was filled with messages.
That was powerful. That was something that we should all consider.
Totally.
But anyway, he told his daughter about there are two wolves and they're fighting. One is courage and one is fear. Which one wins? And she couldn't figure. I don't know who wins. He said the one that wins is the one you feed.
Right. Yes.
It's the one you feed.
Yeah.
So what are you feeding? Am I feeding or should I be like the Chinese gymnast coaches, gym coach, the gymnastics coaches? They train. Now they're either gold or silver most times in Olympics, right? China. They start with their strengths so that they have the confidence to overcome their weaknesses.
Yes.
Right?
So if we could do the same.
If we could do the same.
Yes.
If we can do the same.
Yeah. Because that's what, our relationships are. Whatever relationship you have, like we are all put on this earth, and none of us were put on this earth to not be in a relationship. And sometimes when we say relationship, many times we always take it to the intimate, relationships, but we're talking about, just any relationships. It could be with, parenting relationships, sibling relationships, work relationships, right?
Motorcycle mechanic relationships. The motorcycle mechanic relationships. It even applies to that.
Is he really going there? Is he really? Okay. You go set this thing on fire.
Where you at, Mr. Man?
But I mean, when we look at it, we have to, just kind of realize that these are some of the things that we are to recognize that will break down our relationships, right?
Yeah.
Because it breaks down, the emotional bond, the connection that we have between each other.
That's right.
And so we don't want to tear down our relationship. We don't want to tear down our partner, because
with anybody.
that with anybody,
right?
With your parents, your siblings,
your motorcycle mechanic,
the motorcycle mechanic too.
Your co-workers.
Hello.
Yeah, your co-workers and everything. You wanna get, even with your co-workers, you can not like something that people are doing, but you're there for 8 hours and you get to choose how you're going to spend your 8 hours at work.
Yes.
Now, either you're just going to be, choose to find something that might be decent about this person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. And allow yourself to grow. Right. All relationships are about growth.
Hands down.
We're here to grow, y'all.
Maybe had some relationships that it didn't start off well, but y'all the best of buds all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
I've had that to happen. Yeah. And and you turn around and you handle that issue and you good.
Wait a minute.
You good to go.
Oh.
What happened?
I'm trying to.
Are you going? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. We're good. So yes. So we said we're gonna give you tips on handling the criticism and everything. So let's get into those tips on the.
So in other words, if you find
that's right, Auntie,
yourself dealing with criticism in your relationship, what Auntie said?
She said, "Nurture fear, and it will grow." Yep.
Ooh,
say, wow, powerful. The one you feed. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, isn't that powerful? That is always.
What's up, Ann Jarvis?
That's always powerful. But when we talk about if there is criticism in our relationship,
yes.
If you find yourself where you're dealing with a spouse, you're dealing with a coworker, you're dealing with a sibling, whatever, what should we do, Eric?
One of the things you need to do, because hopefully, especially if you marry, you chose them. You share the same sink. Oh no, we got double sinks, bro. We got double. Okay, but you're sharing the same toilet,
right?
You're sharing the bed. You're sharing something,
and you chose them.
You chose them. So begin to appreciate. Yeah. Especially even appreciating the differences. You go back to Adam and Eve, and this is going to be something that some men have a problem with because we have a particular mindset that if you study Greece and Rome and such like that, women were less than. Women were
throughout history,
in their history, were for procreation. It was about the men.
They were considered property
and everything. But when you go back to the beginning, I ain't gonna go Deacon Halifax on y'all. But anyway, when you go back to the beginning, they were contrast to each other.
Yeah,
there was something that Adam lacked that he needed.
Yeah.
And the woman fulfilled that. If you look at the Greek Septuagint, it says, helper suitable
for him. Yes.
When you read that in the Hebrew, in the original language the book was written in, it is basically someone to contrast.
Come
right?
on.
That contrast. She wasn't less. Matter of fact, she was made from everything that he was made of.
Talk about
he said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh.
Yeah.
Took from the side, not from
the. Yeah.
You feel me? So when we start seeing the opposites having a contrast, if for instance, if a picture has no contrast, it's not that pretty. You don't see any details. Everything is kind of grayed out or whatever. But when you have that contrast, or for instance, no sound. But when I bring something contrasting, you see what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing when somebody sees something different.
That's right.
Than you.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's good. So we shouldn't, look at each other, because you do something differently than I do it.
Yeah,
I shouldn't see that as a weakness. I should just see that as a difference.
I don't see ketchup in the pantry as a weakness. I live with it. I don't see that as a weakness. It's not a weakness.
You see how he just, he finds a way to
see that sarcasm. You see that sarcasm.
See, but that's true. It's just different, right? And so sometimes we have to let each other, right, be themselves, right? You can't change a person who grew up putting the ketchup in the cabinet. You can't change it.
Sure enough.
Right? But who can you change, Mr. Johnson?
Yourself.
Okay.
And eat the room temperature ketchup.
There you go. Develop a different palate for room temperature ketchup.
Change my life.
Yes.
Change my life.
But that's so true. So it's not a weakness. It's just different.
It's not a weakness. It's different. And just be able to see that and let them be them.
Yeah.
Okay, if they were you, then you should have married yourself. You should have Dennis Rodman this thing. Right? Am I right? Dennis Rodman this thing. Because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Right.
That is so true.
So in that, let's say you're a person who has gone through some issues of dealing with criticism.
Yeah.
Or even so you can be the person that's critical and these things that you're being critical about really mean something to you. And you may sense that you need to forgive that person for putting the ketchup in the pantry. Who knows?
You got to have forgiveness for that.
Yeah. And maybe you're the person that's being criticized, for, stuff that you do right, like putting the toilet paper on and it goes over.
We are not going to do that.
You might need to,
You might need to forgive.
Yes.
You know what?
You might need to forgive the person for criticizing you for putting the toilet paper on right.
You know what? So do that. Practice forgiveness. Practice that.
I gotta forgive.
And listen, iron sharpens iron, right? Does that
what
fit?
They say. That's what they say.
But yes, you're going to do things differently. And now on the serious note, we do have to practice forgiveness when we are we're recognizing these behaviors, right? And we're recognizing it in ourselves. First, we have to forgive who? We have to forgive ourselves.
Right.
Right. And then we have to also forgive, that person that has offended us, that partner, that spouse that's been being critical of us. Forgive. And it's easy to say, but we both know, right? Because we've been there, that it's a lot more challenging to do. But that's why it says practice, right? So that means, hey, you don't just forgive once. You don't just, say, hey, the way you turn this corner, when you, went down the street, we went on two wheels, right? I'm just saying, or the way you run through yellow lights, because yellow lights mean what? Yellow lights mean caution and slow down, right? But it don't mean speed up. Why do people speed up? Mr. Johnson?
I don't know anybody that speeds up.
You don't know anybody. No one near and dear to your heart. So, because I will say this, y'all. Confession is I had to look up for my own good, right? To see if I was, a bit critical, because I do criticize Eric's driving, right? But I'm just trying to help him.
No accidents.
See, I'm calling myself for the greater good.
Who got the accidents and the tickets?
That's beside the point. But I don't, so I'm just trying, but seriously. So I was like, oh my goodness. As we were, really preparing for, our topic, I was like, ouch. I do find myself when he's driving. Now it's his inner city driving. Let me just say this. It's his inner city driving that has me on edge sometimes. Not all the time, because I wouldn't just always get in the passenger seat. But
yeah, you married to that passenger seat.
Listen,
I think you love that passenger seat more than you love me.
He created this monster. He spoiled me. He was like, babe, I'm gonna drive for you. You ain't gotta drive. You just sit there. It's about respect and what? Honor. That's what he said. So anyway, but see his cross country driving. Oh,
but babe,
I can sit back and go to sleep.
That's because
because I feel safe. But it's the inner city driving. See, he knows these Houston streets, and he could just like feel like he just got this. But I had to look at it. I was like, okay, am I too critical? Am I, am I pointing out flaws? Am I focusing on them? Am I,
flaws that aren't flaws? Because I'm a precision driver.
A precision
driver of aromatics.
But anyway, yeah, I do have to work on that. I will admit right here, right now, in front of America,
in front of
the world, I am working on my my habit of criticizing you during your driving. You are a wonderful driver, and I appreciate that.
America.
See how I do it. See how it's done.
All we got to do is put a steering wheel. We can do a Mario Kart Wii steering wheel in front of us, and she'd be criticizing.
Listen, okay,
no,
but yeah, but I did look at that. So
yes,
but practicing forgiveness is huge.
Practicing forgiveness is good, and being able, the one who's asking for forgiveness needs to be able to, the person who's being asked to forgive, be in the practice of giving that forgiveness.
Yeah.
I don't think I understood what I even said myself.
Well, I
go both ways.
There you go. And we have to focus on the relationship. Focus on your relationship is key, because you want a healthy relationship.
Okay, wait a minute. We got some foolery in the chat on Facebook.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
it's probably something that you started.
Kendra Denise Melton is in there talking about you're helping him and yourself at the same time.
Thank you, sister.
Kendra,
yes.
Kendra. Rita, hey, lovely.
I'm helping him.
How are you, Rita?
Help,
good
mate.
to see you, Rita.
Come on, I'm doing my job.
And yes,
I'm here to make you better, sir. As he takes a sip. Okay, but yes.
We're going to go back to the beginning of the presentation.
But think about the relationship, right? Think about, what you want. Do you want a healthy relationship?
Yes.
Do you want a relationship that lasts a lifetime?
Oh, my goodness.
Bottom line, it boils down to, what do you want? And sometimes we look at things and we're just like, what? It don't mean that much to me.
Mm-hmm.
Or we say,
battle chosen.
Right? And you move on.
It ain't that serious. One, I share with folks all the time and say, man, don't take yourself too serious.
Yeah.
Because if you take yourself too serious, I'm not saying have a level of self-respect, but don't take yourself too serious, because before you know it, no one will.
Come on.
Because you're going to be over the top.
Yeah.
You're going to be offended at everything.
I can see.
You're going to think, I ain't no joke. Well, anytime you got to tell somebody you ain't no joke, you a joke. Whenever a man, I forget who it was, but this quote came for, anytime a man has to define himself, he's not that. He's not what he's attempting to define,
because he has to make he has to state his his claim.
I mean, if you think about the Messiah didn't go and tell hey man, look, don't you know who I am?
Matter of fact, he discouraged people from
I'm
doing
the
that.
savior of the world. No, he didn't have to do that. He asked, who do people say I am? And according to who they say I am, that's just who I'm going to be.
That's good. Yeah.
He went to Capernaum. They say, hey, ain't that old nappy-head boy? That Joseph little old boy. What he doing over here? Boy, get on. Don't we know his mom and dad? Don't we know his mom and his sister and them over there?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
He couldn't do no miracles over there. Why? Because people didn't see him as such. But did that define him? Now, he wept. because he had something to offer.
Yeah.
And they didn't receive.
Yeah.
And everything.
That's good.
You
about to preach, sir. You about to preach. We're going to need an offering in a minute.
We're going to take up an offering. Matter of fact, going on, we want to appreciate our supporters. We had some folks to share for sponsor some couples, some sessions for couples. And we get that from time to time. But you can do that. I have it down on the screen here. You can go to the Cash App, or you can go over to the PayPal Me and sponsor a couple if you like. Whatever. If you just like what we're doing and want to support it, you can do so. We have an event coming up, which is Stand. The tickets will be ready soon. June the 26th. And we're going to be talking about the state. Yes, we're going to be talking about the state of affairs, that this uproar, this civil war. You've heard me say it before. This civil war that we have going on in our community. And it's got to be,
it's got to be talked about. It's got to be talked about. Yeah, it's got to be dealt with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, we're going to come together and it will be virtual, and we'll have more information that'll be coming
in the days ahead.
But, we know that you're seeing it. What's the progressive commercial, that the guys like, when you see yourself becoming your parents, right? And you see the person with the blue hair, and, y'all know we grew up in the 70s and, 60s and all that. And it was like, okay, we all see it. So we all see the issues that are plaguing our relationships as a nation of people. And we've got to come together to really talk about what this is doing to us and how this is harming us, right? And we've got to put our wisdom together. We want people to come together that's able to assist in the answers, right? And bringing the solutions, because there is an answer. Oh, you best believe there is an answer. And so we want to really look at what our responsibility is in bringing this forth so that we can change the narrative of our own story regarding relationships.
Hands down.
Absolutely.
All right. So we look forward to sending that information out to you guys and getting that going. If leave in the chat your greatest takeaway from the night. Your greatest takeaway from the night. And promise me that you will share this with some folks who, if you know of a couple or somebody who's thinking about getting married or whatever, send them our way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We have the Start Right, Stay Right. The Start Right, Stay Right marriage prep, right? For single people, premarital workshop that's on demand now. Okay. You go onto the website.
Send them our way.
Send them our way. It's very, very affordable. So
for now,
anyway, get it in now.
Really?
Get it in now.
Yeah.
Yes, get it in now, because we're taking it up another notch.
Because we're in the season, of where most marriages take place, right? And so we want to do some things that will give discounts where we can, right? But listen, as we are, because we mentioned a lot of different things about the father wound, and father wounds is when a father is absent, right? Or whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally, where you feel abandoned in some form, in which I disclosed tonight how I felt like I was not, I didn't have my father, and so I felt like I wasn't good enough in many instances, or I felt like I didn't know how to take criticism. And so these are certain things that we want to recognize. And I think we might have to, kind of deal with that topic in some future, dealing with the father wound, because it affects men and women.
Yeah, I mentioned it last week that we were going to take some time to watch this deal called Absent. And it's dealing with fatherlessness.
Yeah.
And the impact that it has on young women and young men.
Absolutely.
It's major for the continuance of a generation, the continuance of a people. And like I said, everybody that's on the planet deserves to be on the planet. The Father saw fit for them to be born. They should be born here on the planet.
Bottom line.
And be represented.
Yeah.
On the planet.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Yeah.
This is why we do this.
Yeah. And so, I will say in closing, if you and your spouse and your relationship, your partner, what have you, if you know that there's consistent where there's that person is trying to control you, right? And they're using criticism. We talked about that fine line. We want you to know that it does not, if you do recognize criticism or any of the toxic and destructive behaviors that we've talked about previously, if you notice these behaviors in your relationship, it does not mean that it is destined to fail.
No.
It does not mean that, but we are here to say that there is help available. And so come to Eric and Elaine. You can go to ericandelaine.com and we have resources that we will provide, as Eric mentioned already, but we want you to make sure that you are not feeling helpless or hopeless, that there is hope if you are dealing with these. If you are the person that is always, critical, then, there's help for you. And if you're the person that says, you know what, my spouse is always critical of me, we want you to know there is help for the both of you. So book a session at ericandelaine.com or call us at 832-626-7947. And we will make sure that we are giving you those tools to make your relationship work.
Hands down. All right. And with that, it's your country boy.
And your city girl.
Signing off.
Yes.
Saying peace
and multiplied blessings. Good night, y'all.
Good night.